Hello everybody, welcome back. Bella's found me. What am I doing underneath the RV? Um, I feel like I'm lost in the forest under here. I have not moved the bounder in 2 weeks. And so I've had to mow around it a couple of times, and it's getting to be like a forest under here. Let's see what she doing up there. What was you doing? What were you doing out there? Yeah, I can see these. Yeah, it's pretty clear that I haven't mowed. Here we got little, almost looks like little trees growing under here. That's what happens in 2 weeks. 2 weeks of growth here. All right, let's get out from underneath here. There we go, nice mowed grass to this forest that we got going on here. Look, it's even this far up on the wheel of the bounder. Okay. All right. Shake it off. Was that good? She loves doing that. She loves the soft green grass. And I love the soft green grass too, but except when it comes time to mow it all. It's 3 acres here to mow. But actually, I enjoy mowing, so it's. I find my zen. I think people call it that. It's their peace time. I drive and just drive into my tractor, and I don't know. It just kind of floods everything else away. I do enjoy it. Let me step inside the garage here for a minute. I may have just gotten back from a shopping spree. Part of it was probably just some spontaneous buying. I know I didn't need everything I bought, but just some things I wanted. I haven't just gone out and get a couple of tools that any upgrades or anything like that in a while. So I got a couple of things I wanted. No matter what I say in this video that might lead you to think otherwise, we are getting the bounder out. Probably not tomorrow, the next day, in 3 days. I think in 3 days we're going to get the bounder out, and we're going to leave here for a while. I just need a break from I just need to recreate. I've been doing a lot of projects here. I fixed a couple of computers. Somebody picked up, they dropped off, 2 more were dropped off, and picked up and then dropped another one off, and all different people. But anyway, I got a hard drive ordered, upgrading the one I have here now to from a old disk drive to a solid state drive, and that'll make it faster. That was a complaint. It's a little bit older computer, but she says my computer is so slow. So I'm gonna upgrade the hard drive on it. That'll be a very noticeable difference. So it's ordered. It should be here in a couple of days. So I'm gonna watch the shipping. At some point I'll have to come back and get that together and ready for her. Did I say? Yeah, and I fixed a tractor, an older wheel horse, early 90s wheel horse tractor, complete going through, tune up, all the filters, oil changed, new belts, give it a quick wash job, and checked all the tire pressures, and just run through it like it was my own, and made some money doing that as well. This is the kind of thing I talked about when we were in still down in Florida, that the travel restrictions and all that stuff that was in place at that time since have been eased off. But down there, I don't have this side work. I don't have the my old customer base here that calls me from time to time for computer work, or people know I fix tractors and mechanical stuff. So I get those calls, and a lot of times I say, I'm not in town right now. I've actually been away for over a year before we got back this time, and would have already left again. By this time last year, I'd been here and gone, and I was already out in Montana. Actually, a little bit further, in Idaho. We was in Idaho already by this time last year, headed for Washington. Also this month, we've been full-timing for 3 years. Yeah, I got rid of my place. I sold the travel trailer all in the month of June. I sold my travel trailer. I bought the Tioga, the 26-foot 1988 Tioga, and got rid of all my 90% of my stuff, and got rid of the house, and been living full time ever since, and still am. I mean, even though we've been here at the garage for a while now, it's still, every meal, except when I go out and get a burger, still cook in the RV, sleep, shower, all that. I just still, that's how me and my buddy, I think that's partly how this has lasted. So, we certainly have space. He does his thing at his house, and I do my thing in my RV, and we don't cross. We only spend time together, like out in the garage. I'm not infringing on his privacy and such, and he's certainly not mine. But I think that's part of what makes it work. I should add too that just because we've been full timing for 3 years, the YouTube channel is not even 3 years old. I was messing around at the time when I still had the travel trailer before I sold it, with my first recording, messing around. I got a selfie stick and put my phone on it, and was trying to get the feel for talking to a camera and learning how to edit a little bit, and if I could actually do this anyway. Somebody out there? Right. He's there. And I don't think I published my first video a couple months later. I believe it was August 7th, I think, was when I created the channel. So was busy between June, July, August. Well, I was still busy. That was a big transition, getting rid of out of the house and getting the RV all geared up and kind of ready to hit the road. But so here we are. So I think after almost 3 years, getting close to almost 3 years of being on YouTube, maybe I should tell you who I really am. Okay. It might explain some of the purchases I make. It might explain why I drive what I drive, and things might make a little better sense. I'm gonna put this down and start getting a couple things out, and maybe I'll talk about that a little bit. All right, what happened here? Okay, oil was on sale. Okay, on clearance. This is what I use in everything I have: the car, the bounder, the tractor, almost everything except for the motorcycles. I buy Kawasaki oil for the Kawasaki and Suzuki oil for the Suzuki. I don't know why. They said it all comes out of the same drums anyway, not the same tankers. Yeah, I thought I'd say why I do what it is, what makes me do what I do. I don't know, that's a good question. Why do any of us do what we do? I wonder sometimes. Come on, get out of here. get out here. Stuff. And of course, gasoline for the tractor. It's gonna be time to mow again. Why do I do what I do? I don't know. I bought things like brake clean and orange spray paint and metal cutting wheels and caution tape. I don't know. That was the impulse buy. Caution tape. I don't know why I bought caution tape. It was there in like $2 and something. I don't know why I bought it. But now I have caution tape. And here, I got the old style plug-in drop work lights. Drop lights. And they're nice and everything. But I really like this rechargeable one. It's, oops, what is it? 600 lumens. And, you know, for working on a car or the bounder or whatever. And it's rechargeable. Cordless. Never have to put batteries in it. Never have to plug it in. I forget how many hours it's good for, but on a single charge. 2 hours. Well, hope you can get done what you need to in 2 hours. Well, that's on continuously too, so yeah, there's a charging thing in there. So I wanted that. What'd I get? Glazing and spot putty, air tool oil, PB blaster. I'm out of PB blaster, and my hobby, I call it a hobby. The just kind of things I like to do, or have to do. Got to have PB blaster, WD-40. You know, it's just what I get. Okay, let's go to this one here. Sandpaper. What's this one? More sandpaper. Oh no, I don't care for sandpaper jobs as much. Putty spreader. Why would I need a putty spreader? Sanding discs. Bondo. Actually, this is Bondo glass. It's not just regular putty. It's fiberglass. It has the fibers in it. Okay. What am I doing? These I didn't need, but hey, they were 97 cents a piece. 97 cents for these clamp-on things. I don't know. They come in handy for stuff. What else? Yeah, there's an upcoming job. I do need to do a little bit of body work on the Focus. It has a little bit of bubbling around the bottom on this side, and there's a little bit along the bottom of the driver's side door that I really need to sand that down. And I have some rust inhibitor stuff already over on the shelf. I'll have to kill the rust and sand it, kill the rust, primer it, paint it a little bit. No, I'm not painting it orange. That's for another project. Okay. The orange is for this motor shoot. That you can see. This is like Swiss cheese. You can see daylight through all of this, and it's getting to be a classic mower. I made patches inside and welded them in here in the corner, here on the side, on just all the way around. It's still got holes in it. Anyway, that's what I'm going to use kind of some of this for, and I'll have a bunch left over for the car. But I want to go and do all these seams in here and fill all this gap in. I might have to cut some of this out, just the outer old part, not through the new patch, but some of this older stuff. Anyway, I'm going to fix this up. It's just a freebie, just a favor to somebody else is trying to keep an old mower going. The engine still runs good, but the parts of it need a little bit of refurbishing. It's getting brand new wheels on it because the wheels are kind of getting old and wobbly. I think a new throttle cable, but it's going to get gone through and kept around for a lot more years to come. Anyway, these sanding discs. So I just got a cheap orbital sander, and just put the pad on there, and turn it on, and you know. So that'll be nice. That'll make life a little bit easier. I guess I should put that back in the box. Get rid of that bag. And comes a little dust collector bag. That kind of helps keep dust down. Some other attachment in there. Maybe it's just an extension. I don't know. Oh, it's an extension where you could hook a shop vac on. Nice. I have another shop vac over there for the blasting cabinet. I might actually use that on. That might work out really good. Or not. Okay, I guess another impulse buy was, yeah, this was an impulse buy. I don't really need this, but I just like it. I really like it. Wait, okay. Air tools. I love air tools. Okay. Got my half-inch impact for driving half-inch sockets. I got an air chisel. It just this is good for some interesting jobs. Never know. And I have a 3/8 air ratchet, which is really handy, but it's kind of powerful, but it kind of goes slow. Once it gets going, it just kind of turns the socket slow. Well, I got the in-between thing. This is like the half-inch impact. Only this is, oh, is that nice? Oh, it's a 3/8 drive impact. Oh, is that nice? Okay, we got the Big Brother one. Of course, the bigger one's more powerful, and it's good for doing like lug nuts and stuff on wheels, like bigger, tighter stuff. But it's a little bit bulky and cumbersome in some areas on some jobs. This little guy here is just lighter and getting in. It's just nice, and I wanted it. Okay, so we're gonna add that to my arsenal of tools. Just put that there for now. Why do I do what I do? Ooh. There we go. And I got this other tool. This will come in handy. This wasn't as much of an impulse buy. It's a little it's a little die grinder. Come on. Open sesame. Come on. Open sesame. You ever wonder what remember, like, was it magicians or genies? They all said the magic word was, or something, it was open sesame. I think it was actually open sesame. I don't know where I get that from. I got a crazy idea from. Yes, it's a little die grinder. This is like a Dremel, okay? And a little bit more powerful. You can put bigger things in it. Grinding wheels and burrs and little sanding. Where'd they go? They're in here too. Oh, these little sanding discs. They're in here. And so it's kind of like this disc sander, the orbital sander. With these particular attachments, you can go in, kind of get in smaller places, and I like this too. Okay, so I bought it. Tools. Impulse buy. Any more impulse? I needed some new utility blades for my utility knives. Impulse buy. Yeah, it was only like $3. 550 paracord. 5/32 by 550, or 50 feet. I mean, of paracord. I don't know why I need this. But I must need that too. Alright, quite a mess here. Anything else? No, I think that's everything. Oh my. Why do I do what I do? Honest to God, I wonder sometimes. You know what? Here's what happened. It's all my grandfather's fault. Okay? It is. My dad's dad. It's all his fault. I was so impressed one day with what he did. that it affected me the rest of my life. And it's largely why I do what I do now. One day when I was little, one day when I was just a little boy, I used to go over to my grandparents' house, and I had a tricycle over there, and I rode my tricycle all the time. I wore that thing out. I love riding stuff. Obviously, I got 2 bicycles, an e-bike, 2 motorcycles. I still love riding stuff. Um, but I wore that little tricycle out to where the front tire on it had a. Of course, it was an old, that was in the late '60s, mid '60s. Um, I rode that thing so much I wore the tire out. You know those old school tricycles. I think you can still get the them today if you know where to look. Um, I wore it out. The front tire. We had spots where it was worn through and flat spots, and it was just just all rickety. And two, the things that hold the front wheel straight and steady, the bushings were worn out. So not only was the tire worn out, but the whole thing was wobbly too. Um, and it just got to where it was just wasn't even rideable anymore. Well, my grandfather was a machinist, and in his basement he had. Let me get rid of these. I keep fidgeting with them. Don't touch them. Don't touch them anymore. He was a machinist, and he had some machines in his basement. And one day he took the front wheel off my tricycle, and he made new nylon bushings for how the axle goes through that holds it on the forks. Um, Made them out of nylon and put it back in, and the front wheel was all nice and steady again. It stayed straight. It wasn't all in there just all doing whatever it wanted. And he got an old piece of garden hose. Now, back in them days, garden hoses were made out of something substantial. They weren't these cheap things you buy now. Well, he measured enough, went the whole way around the wheel, and I don't know how he made the seam, how he stitched it or glued it. I don't know how he attached it, but riding it, you couldn't feel it, you couldn't tell. But here's this, it's like I had a brand new tire. It's like my tricycle is brand new again. And I loved that. I was sad because it was broke. I loved riding that bike, and to think that it was done, it had become unrideable. I don't know. It was a predicament for me. I wasn't happy about it. But when my grandfather fixed that with tools in his basement, I was so impressed that I thought, wow, you can resurrect old worn out things, really, and that's impressed me. That just made such an impression on me that I just love doing that. And then a second instance, I'll try to make this one a little quicker, is when I got older. I guess from there forward, I was working on my own bicycles and stuff. And then as I got to be almost a teenager, um, I got more interested in motorized things, go karts and mini bikes. And I thought I wanted a go kart. I wanted a go kart, and I found one. It's kind of like the go kart that's over here. Okay. Only mine was better. Okay, this old one's like an old yard cart. Um, it just has, it has a custom steering wheel on it. Racing high performance kind. But it has the gas pedal and it has a brake pedal. But this type has a clearance. It sits a little bit off the ground so that you don't bottom out and scrape going through the rougher areas like a yard. Mine was more of a racing style. Let's get on here. It's hiding behind the dirt bike, but okay. This is the back of the seat. Here's the back tires and the engine, which we've stood it up and now it's leaked some of the oil out of it. But that's just the way it's got to be right now. But over on the other side, it has this little pad that pushes. It just rubs the tire to stop it. That's the brake. Well, I had like a racing. I had a lead on a racing frame that it had slicks, smooth tires for racing on hard surfaces like asphalt tracks. So it had slicks the whole way around, and it had disc brakes on the rear axle. And it was, but it was just the frame only. It didn't have an engine, and I wanted that. It's like when I was 12 years old, and I delivered papers out on country roads and hills and back roads. I delivered papers at 12 until I couldn't wait till I saved up $25 to buy that frame. The guy held it for me, and I bought that frame with my own money. Back in them days, I guess we just didn't have the money for them sort of things in the family budget. So I bought it myself with my paper money. And then I needed an engine for it, similar to that one. And my neighbor his dad was into lawn mowers and different things, and he got an engine off his dad he was going to use for something. He could never get it running right, and it would try to start and it would die. And anyway, when I got that go-kart frame, we wheeled and dealed a little bit, and I bought that engine off of him for $2. Now, keep in mind, in the late 70s, $2 was probably more like 10 today, or 15, I don't know. But so I got that engine, and I got it home, and I put it on the cart, and I knew the thing tried to start. It had some life in it. I couldn't figure out why it wouldn't start running. So I went down to the corner gas station. There was a one-man show. A mechanic down there had a single bay mechanic shop garage, and he was a nice guy. And I told him what was going on, and he said, "Did you try cleaning the carburetor?" I barely knew what a carburetor was, but I knew what it was. And I said, "No, what do you mean clean it?" And he says, "Take it off and get a coffee can put some kerosene in it, and get a brush of some sort. Carefully take it all apart. Remember how everything goes. Go in there with your brush, clean that carburetor all up and blow it off anyway, however you can, and put it back together and put it on and try it." And I did, and it ran. It started right up. And then, so I amazed myself there. First, I was amazed by my grandfather, and I thought, wow, I can really resurrect old stuff now. And it's like I've been doing it ever since. That's all I do. I love doing it. So maybe in the past video, I talked about getting an old car to restore. I don't know if I want to do a full restore on a basket case, from top to bottom, but I'd like to get something older, and I just still enjoy doing that. And maybe that kind of explains some things on why I have a mechanical background, and I'm able to work on the boundary, because I've just worked on stuff my entire life. I've restored little old garden tractors, and yeah, I did several a couple of years ago, and I don't know. It's what makes me Mr. Fix It. And I love doing it. So I've kind of restocked on some things because I know I got some projects coming up. I like having the tools to make the job a little easier, having the right tools or some more modern tools, and speed things up, make it a little easier, do a little better job. But I don't know. All that to say, is there anything more I want to say about that? It's why I can spend so much time in a garage. It's why I can feel like I'm at home in a garage. I could live in a garage. I've never really had a desire to buy a house, or you kind of have to buy a house if you want a garage. If I could just have a garage, I probably would have owned one by now. This would be almost perfect. My buddy's garage here. It's big enough to put an apartment upstairs. But this is his place and this is his gig, and um, it's I could probably rent it maybe, but still I'd have to share it with him. I don't want to share my garage. I want a garage. I want a garage that's all mine someday. I might share it a little bit. I don't know. But I could go with a garage maybe 2 or 3 times bigger than this. I don't know. Well, I mean, this is only a 2 bay garage, maybe a third bay or a fourth, maybe a little bit deeper. I would be happy to have a kitchenette in a corner, and maybe something the equivalent of a large walk-in closet, as a sleeping area. Just something with a little bit of a divider or a blind wall or whatever. Maybe it's a sleeping area. TV. Oh, I'd have a big screen. I'd have a 70-inch TV on the garage wall, and a couple of chairs around, and what else? Yeah. I said a kitchenette. Yeah, have a refrigerator and stove and stuff. But I'd be happy. I'd be happy living in a garage, honestly. So now, how do I combine? So now I'm at a loss. I've shared there in a recent video about maybe making changes with the bounder and what I do going forward. That I can kind of combine these two. I still enjoy RVing. I don't want to quit RVing, not altogether anyhow. But how do I combine these two best? I I, I, I love traveling and seeing different places and different things, and meeting people. I do miss my friends, um, but I like being here too, and do where I can mess with stuff. On the road, I need a garage. I need a small garage on wheels. Um, but then, how do you pick up projects? Round up some projects to take with me, and I'm out on the road for 6, 8, 10 months or something, and I don't know how that makes sense either. Some hobbies are more portable than others, and I don't know how to make my hobby more portable, at least at a level that I would enjoy. I could just divide the bounder, something like dividing the bounder in half. Do some remodeling, move some of the kitchen stuff up a little bit, and maybe get rid of the dinette, move the bathroom up some, and get rid of the full tub and put a stand-up shower, and have the back half a workshop. Maybe cut out the whole back end and put one of the big drop-down doors like a toy hauler. I need half living area and half garage. But I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't do that. I would be more likely to, get say the heck with the mid-size Class C. Just go ahead and getting a very short one. The shorter the better. Just get a 19 20 foot Class C, and having a big trailer that was part workshop, part living room. you know, I don't know. I don't know how to combine my two passions. I don't know what the solution is yet. But that's kind of been my dilemma. Is I'm not sure how to proceed forward. I'll probably mess around here. We're gonna get the. Excuse me, got a hair in my. Um, we're gonna mess around like we usually do. I'm gonna get the bounder out of here, and we're gonna get out of here after these 2 hot days pass, because it's gonna drop right back off to 80 again. It's going from 80 to 94 to 93 to bam, right back down to 80. So we're gonna get past these 2 hot days. I'm gonna get out on the road and take a break from the garage. Gotta do a couple things, and then I gotta get back here. I gotta finish that computer. We're just gonna proceed, I guess, with the bounder and doing what we've been doing. And just in the meantime, be kind of thinking and working towards how I can better realize my my ambitions, my hobbies, my that sort of thing. Yeah, I know this was a mighty long-winded video. We'll be back soon. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll see you next time. Phew.